Ready.
Ready? Okay. Okay, here we go. We start with the shape. We'll concentrate the head this morning. Do a rough shape. Slightly tilted. Proportion. The main thing is the proportion. So, the eye over here. The bottom of the nose. And the top lip. And the bottom lip. Now the shadow. The shadow is important. Between here and here, the space here is important. If you put the shadow here with too much space, it would not help you. So the space and the proportion. And the shadow is very important. When you do the shadow, then this straight line, you can improve the straight line going like this. So at the beginning, just do a simple line. Okay, the outside corner of the eye is about here. The inside corner of the eye is about here. And the outside corner of the eye is about here. It's like a V shape. V shape. And the eyeball is about here. See, if you have the corner of the eye, then you're judging the space. Okay, the eyeball is about here. And the corner of the eye is about here. And the eyeball is about here. It's very important to rub. See, just the placement of everything. Now, see, this sky line is important. If you don't do the guideline, you might make one eye higher, one eye lower. Now, once you got this, now all you have to come down. That look like him already, see? Come down. See, very simple. And, okay, we do the shadow. Okay, the shadow. Shadow. You follow this simple proportion. Very easy. Very easy. But it takes a year to figure out why this is so important. See, if you don't pay attention with this, if you make mistake, it will take maybe twice as long to correct it. So if you slow down a little bit and you make less mistake, you can end up doing faster. Okay. The shadow is important. So this is shadow. It's just a guideline. Usually I don't even need this, but guideline. It's very simple. This is shadow. There's a deeper shadow near there. Now, this is also a guideline help you see the likeness. Okay? And this is also a guideline. With the light, you see narrow, make a narrow. If you see a wider, you make a wider. Very important. See, this is a guideline. So when you have a guideline, and then you can do the shadow, 1, 2, 3. See? Right? I hope you remember to follow this simple proportion. Okay, this shadow. Don't pay too much attention to this right away. Concentrate the proportion in here first. Okay, the hairline is about here. Do the hair, light it.
You gotta bring it back. Huh?
Okay, the ear. The ear may be lined up with the top of the eyebrow.
Everything you said.
Okay, same shadow. Okay, now we do so much for this shadow side, then we'll do a little bit on the right side. Okay, the right side. Okay. Watch the space when you do that, right? If it's too big, then you're changing the whole proportion. And the ear, line up the top with the other side, and the bottom, I have to lower this a little bit. The bottom, line up with this side. See? See? The top, bottom, bottom. Okay, this. Now before you do this ear, now the space here is important. How much is space here? You have too big a space, then the ear may be too far away, or not enough space, then they're too close in. This is just a quick proportion. Now the likeness is just a roughly likeness. It's not perfect likeness. Okay, the shadow. Here, one side may be bigger, this side a little smaller because it's not a perfect full view. Okay. You do a little quick with the shoulder, sort of line up with the corner that lifts the shoulder. Shoulder. This side, the shoulder is a little lower. This side a little higher, this side a little lower. Shadow, everything's shadow at the beginning. Shadow. Okay, this side is all shadow. But the drawing in here is darker than the shadow. And the neck next to the color is also darker than the shirt. Darker, you press a little harder with the same stick. You know? Okay. Okay, now, we do the light. We've got the shadow, we do the light. Okay, we do the light lighter than the paper. Okay, that's better, because it's not light enough. Okay, we do a one flat tone. Very simple. The one flat tone against the shadow. This just gives you almost looks like a black and white sort of. One flat tone. Okay, let's do this side maybe a little bit darker. This side maybe a little bit darker than this side. We have a little bit lower. Okay, actually this part of here is a little bit lower. And it's actually a little bit lower than here. Okay, let's do a little bit here. Three different tones. If you see a little light, you put a little light. Okay, this is a little medium tone. Alongside the shadow, middle tone. Okay, now you have three different tones: the shadow, medium, and light. Okay, now between this and the ear and the face, the ear is light, and right next to the ear is middle tone. Okay, it's not that dark, you know, it's just okay. Now we do another tone. We do another tone, maybe slightly darker than the middle tone. We'll go down another tone. We'll try this. Okay. Now we have a light middle tone, dark middle tone, two middle tone. Okay, do it a little bit here. We're touching a little bit here. We're touching a little bit alongside the shadow. Okay, you got three different tones, but this darker than this side. Okay, now we can do this. And then alongside the nose, the shadow, a little thin dark middle tone. See, you don't want to make it too thick, then you take away the light. Go along the shadow. The top lip, maybe I make a little lighter by go over blue. And a little bit here. And a little bit here. You always save the light on one side, darken one side, in between, middle tone. Okay, now this just basic tone. Okay, let's put another tone there without going to warm and cool. Let's come up one tone lighter. Okay, a little bit lighter. Medium light, brighter light, maybe not too bright. You always compare all the highlights, some a little brighter, some a little lower. So the brightest highlight in here, okay, this is a low highlight, rub, touch lightly. Medium highlight, you press a little bit harder. And the bright highlight, you press even heavier. So, and then here is a low highlight. Now the low highlight between this area, you're creating the darker tone without using a darker tone. Now by doing like this, see, this light becomes a darker tone. Same way here, this will be dark if I put a little highlight in here. Okay, this is a low highlight, not a bright highlight, just one tone lighter. See, now we got 1, 2, 3 tone. Okay, now this can be another tone also, slightly darker. Okay, a little lighter here. All the bottom area is a low light. See, this is very low light in here. And this side, maybe not much light. We'll finish the other side of here. Okay, it's okay, the hair is light gray, but you should start looking light. Okay, a little lighter than the background. Okay, now so far I didn't do anything to the background, but if we make the background darker, then this gray will look lighter. Okay, the neck light is much lower. Let's start with this light is lower than up here, so I have to do a little mixing. It's too dark, mix it a little light over. So that's important. You compare with the rest of the tone. Very important. So far, it's no cool color, just the tone. Okay, let's introduce some cool color. We'll start with the green first. This is too warm, we'll tone it down. This is too warm, we'll tone it down. Now we have some cool. We'll tone down, push certain areas back using the cool. A little bit here, a little bit here, and a little bit down here. That's cool. Here, a little cool. Okay. One cool color. Let's have a next cool color. Let's see. We'll put a little violet in. Okay, violet and green is cool, but one is a little warmer cool. Violet a little bit slightly warmer cool. Now we'll try to build up more variety of different colors. Now I'll go down a little bit darker, but it's lighter than the shadow. So the ear becomes lighter by see this is 1, 2, 3, 4 tones, right? A little area, 4 different tones, subtle. Okay, now this brown, let me change it to a little violet. Bone structure, a little bit angle. So you can improve an angle by drawing with the tone also. Down here, a little cooler, a little violet. Tone it down a little bit. Okay, let's see. Let's put some blue there. So we got green, we got violet. Okay, let's put a little blue. Blue also cool. Just a choice. If you like certain color, you can use any cool color or gray. Gray is also cool. As long as you don't overuse. See, if you overuse it, if it's too strong, you can always tone it down. Okay, more color. This is a little different than the other color. See, this is two different violet. One is a cool violet, one is a warm violet. So let's using this a little bit cooler violet. Now, sometimes you want the drawing soft. Don't be afraid to go over it like this, right? You're softening up the drawing so you can blend with the color. So the drawing is not too sharp. Color. You can always improve more and more. And the shadow, same way. The shadow, you can have a warm and cool shadow. Okay, let's begin then. Forget about this brown. Let's begin some cool and warm shadow. So we put the green shadow. Okay, that's a cool shadow. Warm shadow, we'll put a little reddish color over. Okay, now this is warmer. If you don't want this to be warm, we'll leave it more cool. If you want warm, then you can put a little red, so you can do it like this. Okay, cool, warm, or cool, warm. You can do it like this. See, this gives you two color shadow. Okay, the green and red together, when you do oil painting, that's perfect color for shadow. And if you want the shadow lighter, in oil painting, you can add a little yellow ochre. Or in pastel, I can run a little yellow ochre sort of over if you want a lighter shadow. So, this is like a yellow ochre maybe, or Lowe. But anyway, If you want a little lighter, you want this over a little bit, it becomes just a little bit lighter. Or using this to blend. You blend softly, softening up the joint. You can do it like this also. Blending sometimes makes a nice color. You don't control it completely. See, now you get that nice soft. In oil painting, you can sometimes using the front brush against the wet color, and you can get a nice effect also. Okay, now, so far we'll do it real roughly. Let's do a little bit here. This little shadow. Sort of brownish, and a little shadow. This is like a middle tone. Light, middle tone, and dark. And here on the shadow side is middle tone. Not too light. Darker than the light. Okay, then you have this part near the bottom area, a little darker tone. Middle tone, and then little shadow, little bit brown. And if it's too cool, we warm them up a little bit. We'll put a little bit, little yellow tone over, warm them up. So it becomes warm gray instead of cool gray. See? A little bit warmer. And the light, we can make it a little bit lighter. Using a warm light. Okay, the lightest tone I would use it maybe near the front, not the top. Overlap this, so it's softening up the dark. Prepare the dark a little bit first. Thinner, the same stick makes it less light. See, very thin, it's glazing over. You want lighter, you just press harder. See, press harder gets a little lighter. See, this the whole thing very soft. Now, on top of this, you want a little better lightness. I had to do the joint a little bit again. We start the eye again. So one tone darker when you do the joint. Okay, the corner of the eye. A little darker. But don't finish it. It's a little bit darker. A little bit darker. More angle joint. Shade it. Eyebrow gets a little darker. And underneath the eyebrow, not too dark in here. This side darker than this side. Watch the space here. Yeah. If it's narrow, you make it narrow. If it's wider, make it wider. It's a little bit higher. This is a little lower, this is a little higher. The lower, rub a little bit the eyebrow. darker here. And a little darker here. The first tone dark, but the joint darker. Darker. See, this is important here, right here. See all this little angle makes the better likeness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not a straight line, right? See, that's the character, the bone structure. So pay a lot of attention when you do a perfect likeness. But anyway, that should be good, right? Okay. Okay, about well. Okay, we're starting always redraw a little bit first. Always do a little join first. Short straight line. Okay, this is like a middle tone joint alongside the shadow. See, it gives you the bone structure. Another tone. A warm middle tone alongside the shadow. Okay, this is a little light, it's a middle tone. Middle tone. Darker middle tone. Darker middle tone, one tone darker. And light middle tone along here. Middle tone, and even the top lip a dark middle tone. And this side, the lower lip, also a dark middle tone. That's a big shadow here. And then we separate the bottom bottom lip shadow to the upper lip shadow. Upper lip shadow a little bit dark. It's a little cool middle tone. Sort of gray, greenish gray. Center also a middle tone center. So this is cool color. We add a little cool middle tone along here. Gray tone. Okay, let's add more color. More color. A little bit light on this side. The center is less bright, the center. Don't make the same light continue over, because then you flatten the whole thing. So anyway, this corner right here is light. The center in between, and this side is dark. So you got to remember that now. This light is low light, this light, low light, low light. And this is lighter, brighter light. Another middle tone. More reddish. Reddish here. And the chin is a little more reddish. And bottom lip also reddish. And the upper part of the ear more reddish. And then we have little gray tone or cool. That's a gray. It's a little gray tone, cool. And the gray, green or blue, those considered cool. Okay, that's cool. Now the mustache is you start to not the lightest tone, medium light. Okay, 3 tone, right? Dark tone, medium tone, and light tone. Okay, this is the medium tone. Let's see, bring the light a little more here. Make your hair come forward so I have less shadow. Put a little cool color on the neck. If it's too cool, you can put a little fresh tone over if it's too cool. A little fresh tone mix it. Clean up this. Okay, let's step up another tone. Okay, medium and light. Bone structure. You follow the shape of the bone when you do the highline. Not just a rough any form of highline. There's a certain angle, there's a certain form, the highline. If you make the highlight bigger than what you see, you're changing the bone structure. You're not disciplined, you know. So there's all kinds of ways to capture the likeness. Bone likeness and joint likeness, feature likeness is very important. And then color likeness also. If you have a long color, if a person have a dark complexion, you make it very light, then that means you don't capture the complexion lightness. Okay, this side generally a little less bright than this side. This side is more lighting effect. You watch the tone carefully. Try not to make up too much of the other color. Okay, this spot is tricky, right? You think it's very bright, it's not that bright. So if you light up too much, it draws your attention too much, So it has to be very low key, not too bright. Let's just step up the highlight a little bit. One tone lighter, two tone. Now this is third tone. Lighter. Okay, now the light right next to it could be less. This is more light, this is a little less light. Using the same stick, make a little thinner, so there's less light. This is a little heavier, press a little harder, you get a little brighter. So you're controlling how thick the color you apply. The thicker, the lighter. The thinner, the less bright. Now over here, the gray is warmer. This is a little cooler. This is a little warmer. So I have to add other warm gray over this. As go back from light, and as go back, the top is less bright. Now the top's less bright. I need a darker background. Okay, this is low light. This gray is low light, much lower than this. So this is a brighter gray, this is a medium gray, and this is a darker gray. So let's do a little quick background. Okay, we're doing some other cookie. You can start with a brown and other color. Now let's give you contrast. The light gets better contrast. That don't mean I keep this brown. I don't just put the tone there first, and the color could be changing as it goes along. See, all the light is brighter by just doing the background. If a background is dark, you've got to make it dark. If a background light, then you make it light. So you don't want to reverse. You don't want to make a light background if you see a dark background. It's a bit correct here. Okay, this is the dark side. It could be a medium tone and then the lighter tone. See, this is a lighter tone, dark, medium, and light. Light, dark. Make sure the light not lighter than these two tones. Otherwise the background comes forward. Okay, a little more join. Okay, this just correcting. This is too big, so you can make a little thinner. So the eye is not too light on the white. A little lighter, this darker. Okay, this is too much shadow. I have to thin down the shadow. So affecting the lightness if a shadow too thick. This is longer, come down a little longer. This may be a little darker. And then come down a little less dark. Anyway, from dark to light. So you don't want to make it continue the same tone. See, the same way here. Same way. We have two tones in here. That's 1, 2, two tones. You don't need too dark on this side. Now the third tone a little lighter here. Okay, that's 3 tones. So make this area curving a little bit. Okay, this medium and against the light. Now the highlight creating the dark in between. See this highlight in between. Actually that's the light. The light become dark because the highlight it forced them to become darker. So you don't need any dark tone. When you see a dark tone, don't just do the dark tone, do the highlight. Let me blend this a little bit better. See the brighter the highlight, the darker the light will become. Let me step up a little bit. This is bright highlight, this highlight is a medium highlight, a little lower. Not too light, just a little bit less bright. So don't apply thick color, thin. See, thinner, less bright. Sort of ending here, the highlight. See, this came to the just light. And then from here to here, a low highlight again. This is lower than this. Low highlight, medium highlight, brighter highlight, can do it that way. So you don't just repeating every area is the same brightness. So this is lower than this. Okay, now this higher than this. Okay, now this also a little bit less bright than this. So all these things very important. Okay, this is a little bit light. Make sure you have color also. Sometimes you light up too much, no color. So make sure you have light and color. Okay, this should come up a little lighter. Near the top part lighter, the bottom less light. This is, you don't need light, just a medium tone. So you compare, you don't need it, then you don't do it. This is a little dark tone. This is a couple strokes. A little darker tone. This is a little contrast. This at the bottom is shadow. Within this, I have a couple of dark tones. These are a little more shadow than the middle. This. So a little darker. So you do see that all you have to do is compare a little bit carefully. Okay, to get back to this another tone. Okay, this shadow not dark enough. Now this helping the light. The light gets brighter by darkening the shadow. See this shadow darker than this shadow. Now you can start with the brown. If you see a cool shadow, then you put a little greenish over. So you don't have to pick the exact color right away. See? Okay, now if this cooler, we put a dark green or blue, whatever color you put on top of it. Put a little dark green. So from brown to greenish, she makes it cool. So that way cool, the brown become warm. Eyebrow. Now if you think the eyebrow is brown, if you look again, it's more like an umber, sort of greenish. So we can start with a little green and brown mixed together. Green and brown. So it's not too cool, not too warm. See, this is like a low umber. If you find a low umber, just as good using low umber. But if you don't have it, you run to mixing the color. Okay, now this look medium light. Okay, that's too cool. We need to warm up a little bit. But the tone is good. Warm it up with a little yellow. So it become yellow gray. See? Using just any color first, and then we try to matching the color. Certain color are more difficult to match, but we first should get the light first. One color for the light. When you do any color fabric, do one flat tone, and then the shadow. And then the mixing, if this is not correct. And yet, see how many colors we add to it to matching that particular color. Another tone. See, we put a little pink color there. See, it's not too pink, it's not too orange. So we're getting there now, we're getting there. Okay, now you don't see how light until you put a little shadow underneath. Let me see, put a little reddish tone. Well, we'll start the red tone. And then we'll put some other color over. Lighter than this shadow darker than this shadow. Okay, the shadow too warm, we put a little cool color, mix it over. A little violet. or put a little green in it. Warm and cool. Okay. Now, chuchong. Very simple. Chuchong first. Don't jump into put a lot of tone there or a lot of color there right away. And then you can do some crisp, medium tone. Medium tone, like you can do all the crisp medium tone. Okay. Medium tone, just light touch. And then you add some darker tone. Okay. Only two tone, only two tone. Three tone including the shadow. Okay, now if you add a little darker, that would be two tone to three tone. So a little dark. Different color dark could be a little darker, a little dark violet. Now the three tone has to be soft. To make it soft, see this is the highlight tone. See, you can add the highlight tone. Now the color looks better than a little highlight. Okay, Tom, we'll take a break. Thank you.